Hi everyone, today I'm going to show you some of my tarot decks. This time it's going to be like media, TV, movies, video game, that kind of thing. And first I'm going to tell you the price of each one. Now these decks go on sale a lot on Amazon. I didn't pay full price for any of these. If they're not on sale when you get it or when you see it, wait a little bit, they are probably going to be on sale again. Right now, almost every one of them is actually on sale on Amazon right now. So, the Golden Girls one is $11.99 on Amazon. The Supernatural one is originally $24.99, but right now it's $22.49. The Skyrim one is originally $27.99 and right now it's $16.86. The Lord of the Rings one is usually $27.99 and it's only $7.01 right now. And I'm filming this on May 8th. And then The Nightmare Before Christmas is usually $24.99, but it's $18.14 right now. So Amazon's having sales on all these decks. But I'm going to move these, and we'll go ahead and start with the Golden Girls one. Now this deck doesn't have a guidebook. I would just want to say that right off the bat. But here's what the front looks like, and the sides, and the back, and then the side is the same. And I really like how it says, "Look into your future from the lanai" on the front. I thought that was pretty cute. And it just opens up like this. And the pentacles are Blanche. And the cups are Rose. The wands are Sophia. And the swords are Dorothy. And I really liked who they picked for each suit. I think it really suits them. Sorry. Anyway, I think they picked right on who represents what. But whoever made this deck really did understand and know what they were doing. You could tell that they knew about the show. So I'm going to go through and I'm just going to show you each one of the cards. I really like the Devil card. I think that is so cute. And I love how they made Rose the Sun and the Fool. So there's the majors. And then we're going to get on to Pentacles, which is Blanche's. So there were those. And now Cups, which is Rose. Sorry if there's a glare. I'm trying to keep it from being a glare, but I think you get the idea. And then Wands is Sophia. And then Swords is Dorothy. But this deck has a really fun energy, especially if you read for your friends or do readings about your friends or whatever. I recommend this deck. It has a lot of friendship energy in it. It's really fun to get together with like your friends or your family members or whatever and read with these especially if they're fans of the show too. So this deck is on the cheaper side. Like I said, it is $11.99 right now, and I think that's a great price for it. But just be mindful that it doesn't come with a guidebook. Okay, now we're going to move to Nightmare Before Christmas. And remember, this one is currently $18.14, but originally $24.99. So, oh, let me show there's that. And this box opens up, and it does come with a guidebook. And I'm just going to kind of flip through it. It shows different spreads, tarot readings, each one of the cards, upright and reverse meanings. And this, here, let's do this. Okay. The candles are wands. The presents are pentacles. Needles are swords. And potions are cups. And then here's the majors. Oops. I'm just going to flip through. We'll look at each card when I go through it, so. And it has a table of contents, introduction. So it has a lot in here. And this is one of the decks that you pull up. Here's what the back looks like. I didn't show what the back looked like of the Golden Girls one. I forgot. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. The back just looks like this. I wish that on the Golden Girls one, they would have had Blanche's wallpaper pattern as the back. But it's good either way. But the inside of it looks like that. And here's the majors. And these cards here are kind of rubbery feeling. So if you like that feeling, I recommend it. If you don't, I don't know, because I'm kind of iffy about it. Sometimes these are hard for me to shuffle. I like that they have this one as the Hermit too. Whoever made this deck understood Nightmare Before Christmas. The artwork on the majors, I think, are really good. When we get to the minors, it gets hit or miss, but here's the Pentacles. Because, see, I really love this card. And that one. But some of them are just presents. And I mean, I understand that too, but I don't know. Okay, here's Cups. See, it's kind of, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about some of these. Now, this one I think is better, in this one too. But, like, some of them are just kind of a little bit boring. But, I mean, I get that they can't maybe make all of them spectacular or whatever, you know. The one I have the most issue with is the Needles suit, though. On that. Okay, here's Candles, which is wands. Because at least with these, they try to make it a little bit like something with the candelabra. I mean, this one, not so much. But it seems like there's a little bit more effort put into it. Like, see, that one is plain, but that one's cute. It's got a cute back candelabra. And then this one too. I mean, look at that. 2 of candles right there. But it's this suit, which is needles, which is swords, that I have the biggest issue with as far as art style, or like art choices goes. See, now these two and this one is okay, but once we get past that, it gets kind of, well, in that one, there's some here. But look, like a lot of them's just piles of needles. I mean, I do kind of like that one though. That one is kind of cute. But it's just some of them I think they could have done a little bit more with. Especially since, I don't know, the artwork in the original, I kind of understand things that aren't as whimsical as this. Maybe doing that with, but this is such like a whimsical movie. They could have done so much stuff. And it's not like I'm complaining that I don't like this deck, because I really do like this deck. This deck has a really fun energy. It's fun, but it's also very to the point, which I really appreciate. It's fun, but it's serious at the same time. So if you're looking for a deck that has that kind of energy, I recommend this one to you 100%. And then, like I said, this one is currently $18.14, but it's usually $24.99. Okay, next we're going to do the Lord of the Rings one. And I'm just going to say this one has the best deal going on right now. It's usually $27.99 and it's $7.01. And this is May 8th. That's the price of it, May 8th. And here's what it looks like. And it's one that you open up like that. And the inside is just stone. Now this guidebook is kind of crazy. But it has where you lift the cards up with the little ribbon too. Now let's get into this. This is the guidebook. And it opens up into a monstrosity. It's a big old thing. And the miners, sorry, the miners don't have pictures of the cards. It just says it. But they do have reading spreads that kind of go along with the theme of the movie. Because we have Second Breakfast, the trilogy, and the road. So they do have, the readings I thought were really cool. How they had the readings on there. But yeah, when I first opened this like kind of popped out and I'm like, ah! I wasn't expecting it at all. I will say with this one, I have the Nightmare Before Christmas one with the miners. I didn't have as much of a gripe with it, but this one, the majors are awesome, but the miners are kind of just pictures of the stuff. Like this. So, I think, well, I don't know, because the Skyrim one's pretty bad on that too. You know what? The Nightmare Before Christmas one might have not been as bad as the other ones as far as it comes to miners, actually, to think about it. Because that might have stood out more to me because that was one of the first decks I got like this. So, but anyway, the artwork is beautiful. The artwork for this is so pretty. Oh, and the inside of it has the ring too. I love the style of this for Lord of the Rings. But I'm going to show this. I love it. I love the artwork. Okay. And rings are pinnacles. And this is where I'm talking about. Like, I mean, I get why they do this. It's just, I don't know, for stuff that has such awesome imagery in it, and then to use just basic stuff, it's, I don't know. I think they should have went with what the regular Rider-Waite imagery is, but with the characters. That's what I think they should have done here. Instead of just put the amounts of rings. Like, they could have used characters in this. And cups are actually cups. I was kind of expecting like chalices or goblets or something like that, but it's actual cups. And I love this card. Here, let's get, there we go. This is probably one of my favorite cards in the deck. I love the ints, though. See, Ten of Cups, they could have had, like, at the end of the movie, where they're all kind of together going on the boat or something. You know what I mean? Like, or they could have used Samwise, and I can't remember what his girlfriend's name is. She's already passed her card, but they could have used her. Like, his story could have been the Ten of Cups. You know what I mean? Like, there's ways to do this. And then Two of Cups, they could have used, this could have been, they could have used different characters for each suit too. Because they could have used this one maybe as Samwise's suit. And Frodo could have been rings, or Bilbo could have been rings. But here's wands. And I love this one too, of course. Because for the wands, they maybe could have used, I don't know. I was going to say the elves, but I think the elves would be better with the swords maybe. Or no, they would probably be wands better for them. Because it's just the artwork is so beautiful on all the rest, and then these are just kind of blah. But this is kind of cool, I guess. Those are cool looking ones. And then swords. And then see, it's just... Now this one's different. I do really, really like this one. Because see, look, this is not even different. The swords aren't even different on that one. Now that one's cool. But this is what the backs look like. And I really like the artwork on the back too. I just think there could have been so much more done with this. This is one of my newer decks. This deck, it's kind of cheerful, but in a no-nonsense kind of way. Like, it's not as brutal as some of my other decks. Some of my decks, they're just mean. Like, this one isn't like that, but it is very to the point and no nonsense. Like, if you want to know something, it's going to tell you. It doesn't really sugarcoat, but it doesn't sugarcoat, but it does it in a nice way, is how I would explain the energy of this deck. But I know I kind of complained about it, but I do love this deck. They just could have done more, I think. I mean, I do like how they have different wands on there, like different staffs and stuff. That's cool. Different cups on some. Hold on, let's see. Yeah, they have like different cups and things. I mean, that's good. I don't know. Guess I'm just kind of a Lord of the Rings snob or something. I don't know. But look at how beautiful this artwork is. They could have done so much with that artwork. Alright, let's get to the Skyrim one. Now this is one that I have an issue of the miners too. And this is originally $27.99, but right now it's $16.86. Yeah. So, I keep on forgetting to show the whole box. But there's the front. And the back is just, you know, normal. And it's one that opens up like this. And it also has a little ribbon. And then it has... I will say, this one and the Supernatural one are two of the harder ones. Crap. Are two of the harder ones to read out of all the other ones I've shown. And for different reasons. Let me go ahead and get into the guidebook before I get into that. You will have to read this guidebook. I'm just letting you know, at least the introduction and explaining things, because what the majors are in this one is kind of difficult to grasp. At least for me, I had to look it up. But it's got table of contents, and you've got an introduction, understanding your tarot deck, and you're going to have to read this in particular because it's going to tell you what this means. Because the spell suit is, it says is the element of fire, which is wands. The lockpicks is the element of earth, which is pentacles. The suit of arms, now that one's easy because swords, suit of arms, you know. It's air, which is swords. And the suit of voice is water, which is cups. So you kind of have to go with things that don't make as much sense on what it is. Because I mean, like, for example, with The Nightmare Before Christmas, needles were swords, presents were pentacles. You kind of get that concept. Now this, on the other hand, it's hard for me to grasp what spells are and what voice is. Like, that's kind of, I mean, I did get the arms, and the lockpicks took me a minute, but I understood it after a while. It's just a little bit confusing at first. Like, sometimes I have to write down what each one is so I can have a reference to look. And I mean, I guess that could just be me not understanding things, but I don't know. I think other people might have a problem too. But see, here's the suit of spells, which, see, I've already forgotten. I've already forgotten what it was. It's wands, okay. And, yeah, okay, well, I'm not going to get into that right now. But here's lockpicks, which that is pentacles. Arms, of course, is swords. That one's easy to remember. And then voice is cups. And once again, though, I guess I am going to get into it. Once again, though, there's so much that they could have done with this artwork. Like this game, it's pretty. This game, the graphics on this game is just downright pretty. And they could have done so much. And the world is so big. But let's get into the actual cards. I love that they made the full Cicero. That couldn't have worked any other way. So I'm just going to say that right off the bat. And the Chariot too. I really like this one. The Hermit, that's one of my favorite ones. And the Tower, because I like the Webbajack. The World card is really good. It looks like Ouroboros, don't it? Okay, now here's Lockpicks, which is Pentacles. I swear. See, it's just basic. There's so much that they could have done with this. They could have had pictures of people lockpicking. They could have done so much. And then here's Voice, which is cups. This one's the one that kind of doesn't make sense to me. Like, I think this suit in particular is the one that I have the most issue with. And then Spells, which is wands. Because, see, he has a wand. That makes sense right there. And I think she does, too. Let's see. No, he don't. But he does. I mean, look. I don't know. I was kind of disappointed. And that doesn't mean I don't like this deck, because I really do like this deck. But I was kind of disappointed in how the possibilities, I guess. But here's Swords. And I like this one because this is who I'm married to in the game. Fun fact. And I mean, the Swords, I guess, is a little bit better than the other ones. Maybe not. I don't know now that I'm looking at it. Because, see, they could have used the different swords. Like, they could have had Daedric swords. They could have used so many more things. Because there's, like, the glass sword. There's all sorts of different things in that game that they could have used. But here's what the back looks like. I know it probably seems like I'm complaining about these, but I do kind of have an issue with the possibility and what they could have done with it. You know, like, because I sit here and I think about how they could have improved it. And I'm not a professional, you know, making decks and stuff. So, and I've come up with ideas. So it's just kind of disappointing in a way. I really do like this deck, though. This is my newest deck I have. I just got this one last week. So I'm still kind of breaking this in and getting to know it. So as far as energy goes, I'm not going to be able to tell you much because I'm still kind of getting the feel. Now, it is, if you are a pop-out shuffler like me, where you shuffle to pop them out, it's going to take a little bit to break in this deck because this deck does not like pop-out shuffling. So when you do that, it's like 4 or 5 cards will come out at once. But if you're a person that just pulls it off the top, you would probably be better suited for this deck. And the card stock is sticky to each other. I don't know if it just needs to be broken in. I kind of think that might be the reason. It might just need to get handled more. But I do recommend this deck if you're an enthusiast of the game. Okay, now we're going to take a look at the Supernatural deck, and this is how it looks all the way around. And then the inside just has little sigils, the guidebook, and then a lot of these ones all look the same, like have the same setup. So the guidebook, it has the contents, the introduction, understanding the deck, and then the majors. And then the minors. Bones are wands. Pentagrams are pinnacles. I thought that was good. Blades are swords. I like that too. That's easy to understand. And goblets are cups. Now, this is a good way of doing that. Making it different, but still understandable. To where you know what it is. I did appreciate that. And then they have... Sorry, I got hair. And then they have, like, caring for your deck instructions. Methods for reading. And they have like different spreads and things like that. So this is overall a pretty good guidebook, and it has upright and reversals. Actually, all of them have upright and reversals. I don't think I said that for the other ones, but they have it too. Now, I really like this Fool's card. I don't like, though, that Sam and Dean don't have their own cards. It's always them with somebody else or with each other. But I do like this Fool card a lot. I like who they chose for each card. It shows that they really do like the show. They understand it. See, I like this one a lot, and this one. This one is probably one of my favorites. The Chariot card has Sam and Dean and Baby. I really like that. I like they have her as Justice. And then, of course, Death. And if you, like, look at the Hierophant card, you might think, well, she's supposed to be Death. She was originally a... Oh, shit. What were they called? I want to say Wraith or Reaper or something. I don't know. She turned out to be Death in the end part of it. But I like they have the original Death as Death. I like that she's the Tower, too. And Charlie's the Sun. I like that. Okay, here's pentagrams, which are pinnacles. I love that one too. And again, I have an issue with it just being that. Only they can kind of get away with it better in this I guess, which I don't really like. I think they could have done them better than just looking like chalk. But see, now that is a little bit better. Okay, here's goblets, which are cups. See, now, like, that's cool. And then it's just cups. Like, they're not even different from each other. And it's like, it's the possibilities of what they were working with that they could have done. That's the issue I have. No, I really do like this one, though. And then bones, which are wands. Sorry, I almost forgot to say that. See, it's just piles of bones. I like that one. I don't get it. This one's cool, though. And then blades, which are swords. See, now I do really like that one. That one's cool, too. Now, see, they should have things like this. Like, each card to go with what happened in the show, or in those cases, the movie or the game, kind of go with what the cards mean. That's what I would do. Because that's a great depiction of what this card means. This right here. This is the potential of what they could have done for the whole thing on all of these decks. This is an amazing depiction of what this means. What this card means in this story here, that goes together so well. And I just wish they would have done that with the rest. Now, I don't have an issue with that as much in this deck, because it does seem like they did try a little bit more to me. And this deck has the same issues of the pop-out shuffling. It's kind of hard to do. This one's easier, but this one is more broken in. Which is why I think with the Skyrim one, it just is a matter of breaking it in. But surprisingly, the energy with this deck is actually kind of calm. This is a calm deck. I wouldn't think that, especially more on like the horror side. And that's what I'm keep on realizing is like all the horror decks have the most chill energy, like for real. And then the flowery decks are the ones that are just brutally mean. I don't know what's up with that. But yeah, this is a really, this deck for me has just really chill energy. It's to the point, but in a chill way. So if you're a Supernatural fan, I definitely recommend this. And it is originally $24.99 and it's $22.49. So it's the one that's not on sale as much right now. But it is kind of on sale. I hope this helped you and gave you some ideas. If you've been looking at these decks and like, I don't know, well, you got a sneak peek. That's kind of what I want to do here, because I love to look at the decks before I buy them. But sometimes you don't have that option, because nowhere around you sells tarot decks. That's kind of the issue I have. So when people get on Amazon and actually show the cards, I'm like, oh, thank you. So I thought that I would just go ahead and show all of my decks. That way, if you're the same way and you like to kind of see things and get the vibe of it before you buy it, that's what this is. But I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, please give it a like and consider subscribing. I'd really appreciate it. And thanks for being here and watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!